Hello, all my bottoms up babes. This is your soul master, Carrie, taking the messiness in life, mixing it up, finding the message, and serving it to you straight. Because healing isn't linear, it's layered, and sometimes the breakdown is just the beginning of your breakthrough. Here, we honor the ache, speak the life into silence, and give the broken pieces a place to belong. This is the space where truth meets tenderness, where your story is sacred and your scars are seen. So breathe deep, open up, listen up, and let the healing begin. Hello, all my bottoms up babes. This is your soul tender, Carrie, taking the messiness in life, mixing it up, finding a message, and serving it to you straight. If you've ever felt like life is too heavy or like the weight of everything is just hitting you all at once, you're not alone. Today, I want to talk about that feeling, the feeling of just being overwhelmed all the time. The kind of overwhelmed where your chest feels tight, your mind is racing, and even the smallest tasks feel impossible. I've been there, and maybe you're there right now. But together, we're going to slow down, breathe, remind ourselves that overwhelmed doesn't mean that we're weak. It means we're human. And in the middle of the chaos, there is still space for healing, hope, and rest. If you want to be happy, first and foremost, you can't take things so personal. You have to let stuff go. You have to let people be. You have to let people go. You have to focus on you, your mental health, your spiritual health, your well-being, your physical and financial being, all of that. You see, your thoughts create your reality. You cannot control anyone's actions, but what you can control is your reactions, and how you react gives definition to your character, and it also lets those know who are causing you to react. A lot of people do things just for attention. They don't care if it's negative attention or positive attention. They just want your attention. And anyone that pays attention to anything basically gives validation that they have feeling behind their reaction. So sometimes people just do it to see if you still care. If you allow any pain of space in your body, it will consume you as much as you allow it to. We all know negativity is poison, and allowing someone's disappointment to continue to consume you with anger is like drinking poison but wanting them to get sick. You see, your mind is no different than the body. If you eat junk food, don't rest, you don't diet right, you are constantly not, picking up whatever food that you can snack on, your body shows that. It shows obesity. It shows it's unhealthy. The mind is the same exact way. If you continue to feed your mind negativity, that's all it has to disperse. So I know that, some of you would probably sit here and say, well, Carrie, I have a lot of negativity going on. It's kind of hard for me not to consume that. And I always tell everybody, you have to find the blessings in the burdens. And what I mean by this is something can always be worse than what is actually happening. Like, for instance, if you're driving to work and you get a flat tire, of course, that's stressful. It's aggravating. You may not even have the funds for a new tire. But if you seek the blessing part of it, that you weren't in an accident, you didn't die, something in that nature, it then shifts your mindset to a positive outlook versus the negative aspect of it. Look at the reality that you still have your car. It's just a tire that needs to be replaced. Your car wasn't totaled. You don't have to seek for, this down payment or something with insurance that you have to get a new car and you can't travel to where you need to be. You always can find some sort of blessing in any type of burden that you encounter. What I've also realized in life is that sometimes our downfalls are actually a test. Maybe we made changes and maybe we, let's say we left a toxic relationship or something. It never fails, like God will send another individual that's like the same toxicity to see if you finally stand up for your worth and value, to see if you finally know your worth and you disperse the individual instead of entertaining it. Sometimes the broken records that we feel, our constant downfalls, are actually tests to see how our strength is and if we can be blessed with a blessing that is in store for us. I'm going to tell you something that happened with me. I had been struggling financially. I was in and out of court with the abuser, trying to protect myself. I just felt like everything was going wrong. Everywhere I turned, everything. It just always was some sort of downfall and some sort of catastrophic thing that would happen to me. I began saying if it wasn't for bad luck, I felt like I wouldn't have any luck at all. And you see, one time my washing machine broke. I even tried calling the manufacturer and thinking, maybe it's just some part or something. And nope, sure enough, the motherboard blew. So it wasn't even that something I could fix. I had to literally get a whole entire new washing machine. Then I brought my car in for an oil change. Well, what I thought would be an oil change. And the next thing you know, they're telling me how my brakes are so bad that it was metal upon metal, that I even needed the rotors to be replaced. And I did hear my car squealing, I will say, but as a woman, we don't necessarily run to to get our car fixed or take care of our cars probably like we should, being, in that field. But anyway, so by the time I brought my car in and thinking what was just an oil change at the dealership, they told me I needed $2,700 in work done to my car. I was like, how am I supposed to do this? I mean, I need to wash my clothes. I need a car to get everywhere. What was it going to do? And you guys, I went home, I prayed, I was like, God, please, I need faith. I understand. I need to stay positive. I need help. I don't know what to do. And on TikTok, I talked to a lot of people on there. There's a lot of people hurting in there. And to be honest, it kind of helps me because I see that many are worse off than I am. And so when I start to feel down on myself, or I guess you could say feel sorry for myself, I go on there and it reminds me that, life isn't as bad as I think it is. But I also talk to a lot of people in there because there's a lot of loneliness, and a lot of the darkness that comes into this world are people that are just lonely, and they just want to know that they could be loved and that they are someone. And there was a gentleman in the Pennsylvania area, and I had talked to him many times. He was not well. He was very lonely, very depressed. And I became friends with him. I would check in on him and make sure that he was all right, and, give him motivational quotes, give him Bible verses, things like that, and always making sure that he was up to par, and just really, I wanted to make sure that he was alive. And sure enough, one day he had reached out to me. This was probably about a week after my washing machine and my car and all that had come in on my lap and had become a burden to me. And he had said, how are you? And I don't know what was in me, but I just let it out. I was like, I'm not okay. I'm struggling. Here's my washing machine. And I was crying, but I don't talk to him on the phone. I just talk to him on TikTok. So of course he can't see me actually physically crying, but I was literally in tears as I was typing all of that to him. And it was crazy. He said, you know what, Carrie, go get your car fixed. You need to do that for your kids, and don't worry about your washing machine. This man that I have never met in my life, still till this day, he said, you know what, I feel like God sent me to see if you were okay, and I want to buy your washing machine, and I want to pay for your car. And so he gave me his credit card, and he had purchased those things for me. And it was so hard for me because anyone that knows me knows that I am not a taker. I'm a giver. Like, for me to take from somebody, and I know it's help, and I know whatever, I was like, oh my God, this is way too much money. No, I appreciate you, but this is whoa, I would never ask someone to gift me something like this. And he was adamant. He said, no, I'm telling you, it was like God sent me here. There was a reason I asked if you were okay. Please, it will make me feel good. This is for you, your children. And I mean, if you don't believe in faith, how could I not? How could I not believe in faith after something like that? How can I not believe that Mr. Rogers was right and said that to seek the helpers? And here I was helping him, and he had said to me too that you helped me in my darkest days, and now it's time for me to help you in a dark time yourself. So if you're out there and you're doubting, and maybe it isn't someone that's going to come around and give you thousands of dollars to help you out, just know that they will send someone. God will send someone if you just continue to have faith and kindness and remember the blessings over the burdens. So in closing, if you're feeling overwhelmed right now, I want you to hear this. There is nothing wrong with you. The weight you're carrying doesn't define your worth. Take one breath at a time, one step at a time. Healing isn't about fixing everything today. It's about reminding yourself that you're still here, and that alone is enough. Thank you for spending your time with me. I hope you leave a little lighter than you came in. And if today feels heavy, remember, you don't have to carry it alone. Until next time, have faith, keep choosing hope, even in the smallest ways. You are so loved, and I hope you know that.